The arrest of Rodrigo Duterte, a glimmer of hope amidst a global assault on democracy. Nobel laureate Ressa's recent comments regarding the arrest of former Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte offer a complex and sobering reflection on the state of global democracy. While Duterte's appearance before the International Criminal Court, ICC, in The Hague, accused of crimes against humanity, represents a potential turning point in the fight for accountability, Ressa cautions against unwarranted optimism. The arrest, she suggests, is a vital sign that the rules-based international order, though severely tested, might still hold some sway. Yet, this glimmer of hope is overshadowed by a deeper, more insidious threat: the weaponization of social media to erode democratic foundations worldwide. Ressa, a staunch defender of press freedom and recipient of the 2021 Nobel Peace Prize, poignantly articulates the chilling parallels between the Philippines' descent into authoritarianism under Duterte and the current trajectory of the United States. Duterte's rise to power, she observes, was significantly aided by his masterful manipulation of social media, particularly Facebook. He leveraged the platform's reach to mobilize online mobs, spread disinformation on an unprecedented scale, and cultivate a climate of fear and intimidation. This strategy, meticulously documented by Ressa and her team at the Rappler news site, proved devastatingly effective in silencing dissent and consolidating his grip on power. The consequences were dire. Rights groups estimate that as many as 30,000 people were killed during Duterte's brutal war on drugs, a campaign characterized by widespread extrajudicial killings and a culture of impunity. The sheer scale of the violence, the systematic targeting of vulnerable populations, and the government's blatant disregard for human rights shocked the world. Duterte's arrest, therefore, represents a potential victory for victims and their families, a chance to finally pursue justice and hold the perpetrators accountable. For Ressa, this represents a tangible indication that the concept of an international, rules-based order, dedicated to upholding human rights and prosecuting atrocities, might still have relevance in a world increasingly characterized by authoritarian tendencies. The possibility that impunity might finally end offers a flicker of hope amidst the darkness. However, Ressa's optimism is tempered by a profound sense of unease. The tactics employed by Duterte in the Philippines, she warns, are being replicated globally, with the United States emerging as a particularly vulnerable target. She draws a direct line from the Philippines' experience to the current political landscape in the U.S., expressing deep concern about the mirroring of manipulative social media strategies employed during the 2024 U.S. presidential elections. The echo of Duterte's playbook in the American context, the use of social media to spread falsehoods laced with fear, hate, and outrage, is, for Ressa, a deeply disturbing sign. The creation of an echo chamber that reinforces existing biases and fuels polarization is a direct threat to the integrity of the democratic process. The déjà vu, as she describes it, is profoundly unsettling. Having witnessed firsthand the devastating effects of social media manipulation in the Philippines, Ressa now observes a similar pattern unfolding in a nation she considers a cornerstone of global democracy. She describes a feeling akin to Cassandra, doomed to foresee disaster, and Sisyphus, endlessly struggling against insurmountable odds. Her warnings, delivered years ago, were largely dismissed, a testament to the difficulty of sounding the alarm against the seemingly unstoppable tide of disinformation. Ressa's concerns extend beyond the specific tactics of social media manipulation. She points to the immense power wielded by tech giants, particularly figures like Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk, whom she has previously labeled the largest dictators. The unchecked influence of these platforms, she argues, poses an existential threat to democracy itself, presenting the greatest challenge democracy will face. The ease with which disinformation spreads, coupled with the algorithmic amplification of extreme viewpoints, creates a fertile ground for polarization, radicalization, and the erosion of trust in established institutions. Her work with Rappler has placed her at the heart of this struggle. Rappler's unwavering commitment to truth and investigative journalism, in the face of relentless attacks and harassment from the Duterte regime, has made it a beacon of resistance. Ressa faced a barrage of legal challenges, enduring 10 criminal charges and a relentless onslaught of online hate, at one point receiving 98 hateful messages per hour. Though she has won most of these cases, 2 charges remain, hindering her freedom of movement and underscoring the ongoing risks associated with holding power to account. Even after Duterte's departure from office, the battle continues, leaving a nation deeply scarred and politically divided. The People's Court in Berlin, where Ressa presented testimony, serves as a powerful symbol of the global effort to confront the threat posed by social media's abuse. This initiative, modeled on the Nuremberg trials, seeks to shine a light on the mechanisms of online manipulation and hold those responsible accountable. The gathering of testimonies from diverse sources, including a Facebook whistleblower, a Rohingya campaigner, and victims of cyberstalking and sextortion, underscores the transnational nature of this crisis. The ultimate goal is to pressure for international accountability and to raise awareness about the dangers posed by the unchecked spread of disinformation. The judgment, handed down by this unconventional court, while lacking legal authority, aims to generate pressure for meaningful reform. Duterte's arrest serves as both a potent symbol of the potential for accountability and a stark reminder of the scale of the challenge. While justice for the victims of his regime remains a crucial objective, the underlying threat of social media manipulation looms large, demanding urgent attention and concerted action from governments, tech companies, and civil society alike. The battle for the future of democracy, Ressa's experience clearly illustrates, will be fought not just in courtrooms, but also on the digital battlefields of social media. The fight continues.